This means clarification. Clarification means restate what you were talking about in different terminology. Basically, it kind of goes along with, like, I guess, almost, I guess it's still thinking about it. Block is this. It basically means that you totally go against what we were talking about, and you leave the group if it is considered into a consensus path. The vibe checker, Caleb, will be watching for that, and if he does see that, he will bring you aside and try to come up with a friendly amendment to bring you back into the group process. But if the box is not agreed upon, there's a 9-10 consensus, which is 90%. And if 90% of people here agree with the consensus, it will be adopted by the group. All right. Yesterday's agenda, I'm going to go over a few things. I was not here, but I have the notes, and I'm going to kind of go over the key points that I see on here. We talked about flyers yesterday with Victor. I talked to him briefly. He's going to have an announcement a little bit about that whole decision. Caleb in medical, it was the squad in town is willing to give medical supplies. And this time, we need money for it. Someone donated a ton of medical supplies. See Caleb if you have any medical training. The food. There's confusion at where it will be set up. There's still leftovers for campers as of yesterday. Folks keep donating, which is amazing. The comfort, Anthony. We received many donations. Things went well previous night, not last night. We need more campers, for sure. We had about 60 campers last night, which was double than the first night. As of yesterday, there were no needs. The legal system, yesterday, the legal group, Sergeant Brown was very sympathetic to our cause, didn't tear anything up, so we can leave alone, discussing appointing a police liaison. The police have been supportive. We need legal observers to see Claire. The nonviolent yesterday, anyone of experience connect with Claire or Coleman, and to continue to add stuff to the website. The media was Naomi. We have 19 members for the media, or 22 members for the media, which is amazing. OccupyAsheville, mwg@gmail.com is the email for them. WLS, Mountain Express, ACT are all covering. Getting a press email on the web. Want diversity of voices, personal stories. Matthew will do an interview with campers tonight. I don't know if that happened last night. Did that happen?
Wasn't I?
Alright. Sabert from ACT was here yesterday. The live stream on New York City gave Asheville a shout out recently. Missions demand group was positive statements. What do we want to have a draft? What's the smaller basic agenda that we have, and what our demands would be. Sleepers commented that everybody was warm and slept well the first night. We were watched over. There was about 30 people the first night. There's a prisoner transport that came in on Saturday and sat here, basically intimidating people, so that we didn't sleep in the park, more or less. New York protesters were arrested 2 days ago by a trap on the Brooklyn Bridge. I think like 400 or 500 were arrested because people were actually walking on the bridge and not on the crosswalk. Oh, 750. Okay, I'm sorry. Alright, illustration training was led by Luna yesterday, and today was led by me. New York was using helium balloons with cameras in there to get the live feed. I'm not going to go over the sleep out for yesterday because that was just kind of like a discussion. There was a proposal to align with the native people. I'm assuming that was Lakota. Okay, Dan. Tall Gary just let us use the bathroom the other night. Sorry. 116 cities occupied the U.S. as of 2 days ago. 160, yeah. There was a proposal yesterday to sleep on Wall Street, and we did. There was another proposal for longer pickets past the co-op at the federal building. As you know, we have a picket every day scheduled at 5. Meet here at 5 and usually meet around 5:30. There was a proposal to have a picket today, which happened at 5:30. There was a proposal to use Google's Voice, and somebody created it. There was a proposal to start a picket work group, and campers will be added to decide the route, which we actually decided today right before the route. There's a proposal, set time for a picket every day, meet at 5 here, as I just said. The proposal to outreach group headed by Glow Lady. I'm assuming, are you going to have an announcement a little bit about? Okay, cool. There was a proposal to pass papers to record demands and release to the media that we're working on it. The book will be stationed at Wall Street Base Camp. There was a proposal for 8 hours a day for parking in the parking garage that was over there. There is, if you want to talk about flash mobs, you have to see Helen about it, which is right here. Occupy Asheville event, County Commissioners meeting tomorrow at 4:30. There was a proposal for the General Assembly meeting Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. That was accepted by the group, I'm assuming. The last proposal was for workshops at camp, and don't do liaisons without a General Assembly consensus, and boycott credit cards and banks. Alright, so that's yesterday's stuff.
Are we occupying Charlotte?
I'm not sure if it was in. I know that was planned, but I don't know if it actually fully went into effect.
Can we occupy Charlotte?
I don't see why not.
We're in the process.
Good. I'm glad I found you.
The working group. If anybody in the working group and has an announcement, please step forward. I think the legal should go first because she has very pertinent information as to what's going on.
Yes. What is going on? Hey guys, I'm Jen Bolter. Hey. I called the city attorney today. Had a great conversation with him. His first response was, "Seems like y'all are perfectly in line with your First Amendment activities." We talked about the concerns. His concerns were not interfering with other permitted events. So I'm going to get a list of the other permitted events, all in every city park tomorrow. And no public urination. They really don't like that. And then the sleeping situation, which we'll talk about in a second. And so I came back down here for the 4 o'clock facilitators training, which is really important. And there was a local officer that was the street officer, the female, Jackie, who's actually really cool. She's the one that kind of broke up camp this morning. And she brought me, I talked to her for a while, and then she invited me back to the cop shop over here to talk to her supervisor and the sergeant. I got a card. And then they invited the county attorney, Kelly. And so there were 4 women, and we sat in here this afternoon, and we had a really constructive meeting. It was like a new paradigm. Women running the police force. It was great. So they recognized what we were doing. I explained to them, and in all of our dealings with police and law enforcement, cops, firemen, whatever, I try to tell them that they are part of the 99%, and they really got it. Yeah. And so they like us, and they want to protect us, as well as making sure tourists can pass through the sidewalk, basically is a short story. So they had pictures from the camp this morning that they broke down. They had taken all kinds of pictures, and there was there's absolutely no camping that's going to happen in front of that rock wall again because that business had taken out a no trespass order before because of other problems they had had, and so that's off limits. The area we were in where we were divided with the columns up against the parking garage and then the sidewalk, I tried to explain to them that I directed everyone to camp, up against the building and to leave the sidewalk clear And I told them from the very beginning, I knew all the ordinances except for the animal stuff, which we'll figure out, but that we had trained on it and that we'd all had agreed with consensus to follow the ordinances, that our intent was to establish an occupation solidarity. It was not to get mass arrested sleeping in the park after 10, which is what they assured me would happen if we were on any city park property after 10. And in fact, all of these areas that are public spaces, city spaces, are park property. I asked them, I was brainstorming with them about what would work. And they were concerned about our numbers growing as the weather got warmer over the week and as we got into the weekend. So they want to protect our safety and create a decent place for us to camp out where they don't have to worry about it. And they suggested that we really find some private property, a church or a local business that will just let us set up shop, and they won't have any jurisdiction over it. Because frankly, they don't want jurisdiction over it. They recognize we're peaceful, and so that was their suggestion. Otherwise, we did agree that it is legal to sleep on the sidewalks as long as we do not impede pedestrian traffic. However, their view with the pictures, and it was pretty much consensus with the city attorney and the sergeant, that we were obstructing pedestrian traffic. That little alleyway between the columns and the building was considered pedestrian traffic. There's all kinds of offices in there. We were obstructing traffic. There were a lot of complaints from the businesses about urination in the parking garage. I asked them, and I asked the city attorney as well, if there was any way they could open up the public restrooms here or the one on Rankin Street 24 hours. They told me before the city attorney got there that they've been trying to get that forever and that the parking director won't have it. And so for right now, that's not an option, but we are working on that. If the officers want it, maybe the city council can do something. I also sent an email to all the city council members and the mayor just telling them what we were doing. I invited them here to experience the General Assembly process, and they have a meeting next week that we can occupy if we so choose. And so the short story is tonight, they'd asked me, I gave them my cell phone number. I told them I was available 24/7. If there were any incidents, to call me, that I live downtown. They were really cool, actually. They were really cool. They were not assholes at all. And so the short story is that we have to figure out where we're going to sleep tonight that is either private property, where we will not be trespassing, or really figure out a way to not obstruct pedestrian traffic on a sidewalk. I don't know what the answer is. The collective will emerge with it. Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted to tell you all this. Just a couple other points of reference. The ordinances do provide we cannot tape signs to buildings and things, and we cleared that up today. So we're just, the way we had taped them up at camp was in violation of ordinances. Animals cannot be tethered to benches and things. And there was one woman who did get cited today for animal violation. Apparently, amazingly enough, the APD did not know what was going on at all because it's only been in the last 2 hours that we've seen them continually circling us. And so now they know what's going on, and I mean, do they not have memos and emails? They just started sending out the emails. They sent some videos. They sent the LOS coverage out to everybody, and they've asked me to call the night sergeant and let them know as a courtesy as to where we will be camping continually. I didn't promise that. I told them about our group consensus. They were like, well, what are your plans? I was like, well, we're planning a meeting at 7. So, unless people have some questions about the legalities of it, I think it's pretty clear if we want a public space, sidewalk, where we don't impede, or a private space. Oh, I also contacted the city parking office about the bus. The idea is to pay for parking so we don't have to worry about it, and then we can have storage in a safe home base, a command center. They don't have a mechanism for renting out oversized vehicles. They've closed. They're not issuing any more permits for this lot up here across from the Civic Center, but they directed me to the Basilica, the Catholic Church right up here, who has paid private parking. And that may be a spot that we may consider occupying with this church's permission. It's a little bit out of the way, but again, if we had a safe spot with a church on private property, that would be a good thing from my point of view, but legally speaking. Just let me look right here to make sure I'm not forgetting. Oh, open fire marshals. Now that they know we're camping, took them 3 days. The fire marshal will probably also show up at camp at some point. They said that. They don't want us to litter. They did note that we did. They were very pleased that we peaceably picked up and removed our stuff today, and that we picked up our litter. One thing of note legally is the loitering statute requires the police to ask you to disperse before they arrest you. The rest of the statutes do not have any requirement to disperse. And so if we were in some middle ground, set ourselves up as loitering, we would have a chance to get away. But they're pretty much going to ask us to disperse as well, except if we're in a public park after 10 o'clock. That's your legal report for the day.
Is fire, does that include cooking stove?
I would say so, an open flame. I don't think it would include the propane heaters we have, but the cooking stoves. And I did tell them we were bringing food. I asked them if there were any problems with that. They said as long as it's being prepared off-site and brought here, it's no problem. I invited them to come. They actually said, well, we're going to come eat with y'all. I said, come on down. And one of them got a biscuit yesterday or something, so that, yeah. And I told them we had the support of local merchants and donations and community. And so they're actually concerned about keeping us safe as well throughout the process as it grows. So I think we're in a good position. Hello, lady here. I am in charge. Oh, you can't hear me? I can't believe it. Me not having a big mouth? There'd be some people who would disagree with that. I am in charge of going around and speaking with the different stores. We had a meeting yesterday. There was only one other person who had joined in with me, and we had a pretty good discussion, and we had discussed about going around, but I'd like to have identification for the people. I would like to have identification of some sort for the people so that not just anybody is going into any of these businesses and saying, I am with so-and-so, and I would like, or can you, and then it never comes back to the group. So we had talked about either getting buttons, or somebody had brought up T-shirts. We had already talked about T-shirts also. So we had talked about having different colored T-shirts for the different groups. And going around and talking to the different businesses in order to get the money for the sponsorship of the T-shirts. If we have sponsors on the back of the T-shirt, you know, the design on the front, we could probably get them pretty well free of next to nothing. So that is what I have done so far. I don't know if I need a proposal in my group or you know, for the whole assembly in order to say this is what we want to do. Is everybody agreeing with it? And in order to get it done, or if myself, you know, in our group, that we can make those decisions and let everybody else know about it.
I've got a proposal for you. Just to get started, why don't we have a real quick video segment where we say, we're Occupy Asheville, we want your help. And that'll be it.
How about invite your participation?
How about let's make that an agenda item?
I was going to say, has anybody ever heard of Kickstarter programs?
Yeah.
What about adopting that? I'm going to put it on the agenda potentially for proposal. Yeah.
Gentlemen, while we're on the subject, may I add one more thing? There's a 3D printing shirt company down here on Lexington called On the Roll. On the Roll 3D printing. I'd like to recommend talking to them about this. They would have contacts in the local business also.
Thank you.
Thank you. Coleman.
An interesting segue. I talked to On the Roll today about other stuff kind of that relates outside of nonviolent training, but to legal observers to identify ourselves with a bobcat. But they're really interested in like our needs. So that's an excellent suggestion.
He's a good guy.
Yes, My name's Coleman Smith from here. I'm a member of the Nonviolent Training Direct Action Working Group. We met last night. Claire, myself, Tom Colombo, Steve North, Kathy Scott, Atum, Michael, Jennifer was there, and Sonny. And I don't know, but it's a nice sized group. We are recognize we see there where Jennifer, you were pretty busy today. I don't know if you had a chance to upload some of the information on nonviolence in general, but that's coming. So we pulled in a lot of information and a lot of the ideas, and we need some stuff out to begin to put out there, basic information about the principles of nonviolent direct action. Look for it on the website as reference from time to time, including links. The group in general is working hard to, we'll be bottom lining a public side, possibly some regularly scheduled public nonviolent direct action type presentations, not only to the general public, but to ourselves specifically at places and schedules to be announced, to focus primarily on those principles and how those principles of nonviolence are being or could be used in movements like ours. That was one thing that is definitely going on. There is another side of the strategic planning. There'll be another solicitation for ideas and a creation of our presentations, if not workshops, on strategic nonviolent training for actions that may consider arrest. So there's a general nonviolent principles just to flood ourselves and help others understand maybe where we're coming from, and there will be hopefully at some point more strategic thought as we consider different kind of actions we want to do. I believe that there is a proposal later concerning specifically that to try to solicit from people. If you're thinking of stuff, and you're wondering how it might work, or if you want to talk about it with those, the Nonviolent Direct Action Training Group is interested in helping to filter some of those ideas to help you focus the best way to perform your actions. Let's see. As always, as we collect more people and we grow, if anyone is has some specific background and training in nonviolence and direct action, we would always like to know that you're present. There are different ways that people are contributing. And soon we're going to download to the website off of the Albert Einstein Institute link a handbook for nonviolent action, one that we've realized is being used not exclusively, but by many of the other city occupying movement people. And so this will be an excellent resource that will be up on the website before long. So that, in essence, is what we're doing, and we'll begin to, post more information as we engage this on a cycle of presentations, and that's pretty much it. Is there anyone else? I know Claire and Tom are here from the meeting. I can't thank you. Our hand is up, Tom.
Yeah, it is.
You have something to contribute?
Yeah, my name is Tom Colombo. I was part of the working group last night. Just to get a sense of where people are at, I had two short, simple questions. And just by show of hands, is there anyone here pro-violence? Show of hands. Okay, anybody here pro-nonviolence? Okay, I think get a good idea where we're at.
Okay, so for expediency, if there are no other really driving questions tonight, thank you. Well,
I want to put one thing out there. Community-oriented policing is a policy that is in place in this area.
Community self-defense is another way to think about that. And you're making a suggestion or asking a question?
I'm just bringing that across for also recognize that no drugs, no alcohol in the events, so that we show them we are responsible.
All right. Those aren't hands for questions. Those are sparkles, right? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Are there any other working groups?
Hey everybody, I'm Naomi with the Media Working Group. So a few things. First of all, we now have an official Occupy Asheville YouTube channel. I'm not a video person, so alright, we have an official Occupy Asheville YouTube channel. I'm not a video person, so we need someone that is all about video to basically take that over and make it work.
We also have a media Twitter account. It's called Asheville Occupy. We're working on a press listserv, and we're making contact with the press today. Two things about putting stuff out. One is we are going to be putting out a daily digest. It's basically short blurbs about sort of the high points that happen during the day. And we also need to be able to put out quick response press releases. So what that means is if you are in a group where something notable happens, for instance, the police pick our camp out, the media working group needs to know that right away so that we can do press release about it. And finally, Lance and Mickey we have a new toll-free hotline number which talks about everything that we're doing. Do y'all want to mention that real quick?
All right. Hi, I'm Lance. Well, we just made one of our old business numbers. We just transferred it to. All right. Sorry. Got some food in my. So we created this toll-free number I had from my old business, and what it is you call it and it's a recording, and it's computer voice, but it's very clear. And it lists all our updates, our locations, our times, and our schedule. And tomorrow I'll fix the issue that you can't leave a voicemail. So people that want to donate, they can actually leave voicemails there, and we can coordinate with those people as well. So if you call this number that's going to give to you, you can hear at any time of the day updates on where we're going to meet, the things we're going to do, and et cetera.
Woo!
Okay.
What's that number?
The number is 888-378-0788. 1 more time. 888-378-0788. And the last thing is just, if you are in the media working group and you have not joined the listserv, please do that right away, because that's how we're communicating. Thanks.
Are there any other working groups? Do you have a direct question for her? Or?
I'll save it.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Ben with the message statement working group. My announcement is there's not much to announce yet. The raw typed up version of all the what do we want statements that people wrote down yesterday will be sent up on all the websites, all the Facebook, whatever, hopefully by either late tonight or early tomorrow morning. From which time I'll be working my ass off trying to condense it down, synthesize it into like a rough draft thing. Hopefully by the next general assembly. But at the bare minimum, we will have the rough, statement up there before then. Also, that fellow over there, I forgot your name because I'm terrible with names and a bad human being. He's got printed out of all of the current statement, which is the NYC Wall Street statement that they came up with. And which we adopted on Saturday how many days ago that was. And he's got a bunch of printed out copies of that for whoever wishes to have them.
So I don't want to pass them out in the dark because you won't be able to read them, and I don't want to waste paper. But if you want one, come up to me. And this is so far the only statement, long declaration we've made about why we're here until we improve it. And it's also online in a number of places.
Well,
Hey, Ben, if we missed the part where we got to write down comments, should we give those directly to you or submit them to your email address or something like that?
I think the best method I can come up with is when I start the raw information, it's going to be a period of minimum about like 8-9 hours before I work, before I can start editing down, and that would be a good start. But if anyone really wants to send me something, I can give you my email address now. I'm going to get so much spam. My email address is bjsilver, like the metal, SILVER, 23, the number, @yahoo.com. Answer that. Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah.
All right. Any other working groups?
Can I give this to you?
filming and didn't get money down.
I'm the food group, or I guess I'm trying to really coordinate a group of people because we really don't have a coordinated group right now. And we have some volunteers. We have at least, okay. So I'd like to meet with anyone interested in being on the food group.
Louder.
A few updates. Rosetta's giving us up to 200 meals a day.
Wow.
I went to the co-op. I made out a donation sheet. They sent a lot of stuff to New York yesterday. Okay, well, I don't know if they can hear over here if I'm addressing you. Okay, well, so and the co-op will give us regular donations and sent a lot to New York yesterday. So food will be coming in from them. We're accepting cooked and uncooked food because we have some really skilled cooks here and some folks who can prepare stuff at home and bring it in. Okay, so we want to keep that separate from stuff that needs to be cooked and we're ready to eat. Also, there's farmers markets that we want. There's one on Wednesday on Montfort that I plan on attending, where we can not only solicit food, but also their participation, because organic farming, I'm sure, would like to be represented here. And so if the group can meet the volunteers after, we're going to be on the committee, we'll brainstorm about some other things. Any questions? Yeah.
I have food I'd like to be able to donate. Who's the best person to actually give that food to?
It would be one of the committee members.
Also, here they can
I'll talk to you after this. Also, if there are people dumpstering and stuff, if they could also join in the food committee meeting so we can coordinate all of that, that would be appreciated. Okay? Any questions? Yeah.
It might, if people want, it might be warmer and easier to hear if we scoot in. There's a lot of room. Let's do that.
On point real fast. People can always bring food by the camp. There's a food area in camp. And
So we don't know where camp is right now.
I know that, but we always will when camping. So some raw food has already been dropped off at camp. Can the food team facilitate that gets picked up so that it can be prepared?
Yes. I'm proposing that at night that cook, one of the designated cooks, the volunteer cooks, take all of the food that needs to be cooked, which we hope will be segregated, is ready to go afterwards, and be committed to getting that back prepared the next day. Well, one of the divers has said that they could dive, but we need to hit there. We actually need to hit more places. There's Lori's catering, things of that nature. So we need someone on our team to actually go. Or if someone volunteers, it would be great. I haven't had a chance to go around and talk to a lot of people. Basically, with the co-op. So anyone who's willing to be a part of our team and willing to take that on would be great. Okay? All right. Thanks.
Any other work? Your work?
Confusion about the business group and the goal
Liaison.
that's not okay. I was under the impression that the business group with the clothing was trying to get donations. And I'm wondering if that is true as well, or that's completely separate. I just need clarification.
Where is Robert?
Hello, lady. Lisa. Got a question for you.
She was asking if you were taking food donations with the business donations.
I think that what we were going to do was to talk to her petition about possibly being a donation point for the food.
Okay. Awesome.
it's actually not having a place. It's like I don't know.
Okay. Cool.
Well, my concern is I'll be working with slowly.
Okay.
If the businesses and if the food donations are going to a separate group, we're not going to be, we're not going to be.
Well, I have food committee listed on the agenda point, and we can decide on that a little bit later. Everybody cool with that?
Yeah.
All right.
Greetings. My name is Ras Burhan, and I'm part of the Socially Conscious Spirituality group, and it's very new. We only have about 3 members so far, and the ideas range from doing meditation while demonstrating, yoga. I'm thinking in terms of poetry, rap, art, etc. And maybe even somebody who may have skills within breathing and meditation and yoga to help give lessons in a particular field. I can give lessons in Zazen meditation. Somebody may have Vipassana or something like that. And so that's the basic idea. Somebody also proposed that at some point in these general assemblies, maybe there'd be a moment of silence just to acknowledge spirit.
I have a direct response to that. Yesterday I went to Johnson City, and my friends run a healing center that I did an art installation at, and they're very interested in coming here and doing yoga and meditation with us. So I will talk to him more about it, and then we can possibly make an agenda item and figure things out. But
I started the flash mob, and the only idea that we've come up with yet is to have a meditation flash mob, and so we should get together about that.
Thanks.
There's talk on Facebook about music benefits or having musical shows. Will that fall?
I think there's already
we have a music group that James is a part of. I don't know if he's here tonight. I know I saw him walking around town, but I think he may have had some other obligations tonight. But as soon as I see him, I will talk to him about that. I think he should be. I'm
a musician also, so I definitely fuse music and spirituality, so I'd definitely be interested in that.
Direct response?
I've got something to add to you for your spiritual consideration. I'm a former elected official. Our elected officials need to hear your voice. If you are a registered voter, remind them of that, because that is your power as the people. And that way, when you tell them you're a registered voter, media hears that. It is our spirit we're speaking, and that's all of humanity.
Not a direct response. That was not a direct response.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, thank you. We don't have a email or a number yet, but it's only when we do.
Okay, cool. Any other working groups?
Well, I'm the treasurer, so I'll come up and speak real fast, but my name is Matthew. But just real fast, can we get like a working group time meeting for you, or a space to meet? Do we have proposals for that? Yeah, okay. All right, so right now we have about $119 just from random donations, which I think is great. And we've got several more that people have collected today. If you like, I can collect that right now. However, we still have some things to work on for the Treasury. We need to open an account at one of our local credit unions, or perhaps consider another safe form to store our money. I did not bring the money with me tonight. I have it stored somewhere safe until we decide how we're going to be distributing this money for the group. I'll just be storing it in a safe location. Other than that, I'll start collecting money, and we'll move for proposals for spending later. Okay. Money.
I'll be really quick. One thing that we discussed in this group I don't know if it's exactly comfort group related, but trying to make the earth more comfortable by creating a wash station and accumulating non-disposable dishes and utensils so that we make a cleaner campsite and a more renewable occupation.
I donated 40 cups that are reusable, as well as liquid dish soap and 2 bins to wash stuff in.
Thank you.
Any other working groups?
I'm Victor with the Flyers group. Right now we are at pause because we still need to work out the wording for one of the flyers. But when they're out, I'll let you guys know so we can put them everywhere, on every street, on every business, on every school, and get the word out.
Speak up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you part of a working group? Well, yeah, can we announce next week?
Well, I was thinking about having some handout flyers, kind of really nice, laminated, like nightclub flyers. We could just put it in businesses, people can pick it up. Yeah. It's gonna make them really in your face, you know, with some. One of them's gonna attack sentiment. It's gonna have pictures. The other one's gonna have facts. So that's what I'm working on right now. We're gonna have posters. Working with the graphic designer right now. We're just going to get it underway ASAP right now. Yeah, also, I was talking with somebody who works at a radio station. She wants me to talk on there about how I feel about capitalism and what's going on right now. And I'm going to be over there with Sandy here and this gentleman over here. We're going to speak our minds and
That's 96.5.
I'm sorry, I actually don't have I don't have the station off the top of my head. She just told me where. Yeah. Yeah, 102. Yeah, 10 to midnight. 102.5.
Any other working groups?
Mine.
I just wanted to say with Victor, we just might want to consider maybe not having 3 white men talk to them, because it might not be what we're representing.
That's a good idea, actually. I would have a...
My name is Michael. I'm speaking for Luna from the facilitation group. She drafted a facilitation training sheet of paper, and I tried to pass them around. We didn't have enough copies, so please share them. But we are bringing more tomorrow, and it is going online. And it's just the types of things you need to know to facilitate meetings, because this is direct democracy. This is not something where there's leaders, and so all of us have a part we can play. And part of that is helping to facilitate. And we usually try to have facilitation meetings after every General Assembly.
We're going to have another facilitation meeting that'll be running at 4 p.m. tomorrow here as well. All right, any other working groups? What's the question here? Proposal, you can add it, if you're thinking of it, we can just figure it out. Yeah. Or is it for your food committee? Is it for that, or is it for new work groups? We'll wait till we'll add it as an agenda item if you want. What would it be called? Okay, yeah, I think that was one of the things that was announced from yesterday's too, so we'll add it on there. Okay. Well, I was going to say, I talked about it in the notes from yesterday with community outreach, but okay, well, I'll add it on. I just realized that I'm basically going to do the announcement next, then read the agenda items, and then there's a time where we can add another agenda item. So I'm going to actually do that. I forgot about that when I added it, so I'm sorry about that. All right.
Okay, real quick announcement from the Treasury. Our money is doubled. And some of you asked my full name for security's sake. I'm holding your money. My name is Matthew Bird, and we are now at $240.
Any other working groups? No? Okay, we're going to go to announcements. I have a few real quick. As I said, the notes that we'll be taking today will be presented online from now on. After tonight, she's either going to type them up and send them to me, or we'll be in relay to upload the notes from tonight.
Any questions?
Another thing is, while everybody was picketing today, ABC News affiliate stopped by and interviewed me, and it'll be up tomorrow morning. Just a brief description about what we're doing, the occupation. They wanted to know if I was in charge, and definitely told them that this is a group organization, there's no leaders, and yeah, pretty much that. The phone line, I believe there is another phone line that I know about too. It's an 828 number that I was told about.
No, sorry.
That was, okay. Switch?
That's the old one.
Okay.
If you call it, it'll tell you to call the new one.
Okay, cool. Alright, and one more thing, there was a bunch of stuff being posted on our group page on Facebook today, like some negative comments and stuff, and I'm gonna actually address that in a agenda topic in a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Any other announcements for anybody else?
Oh, I had a question. Where are you posting this stuff online?
It's gonna be on the Occupy Asheville website. Basically all the groups on the Facebook, Occupy Asheville, the Occupy Asheville group, and basically we're gonna upload it to everything now. But we're trying to get everybody to use the OccupyAsheville.org. That's our forum.
We had an announcement that we sent it back up, so I'd be like,
Okay. You want to do your announcement?
Yeah, why not?
Just wanted to say that this is not a new thing, and if you guys succeed, it's going to be because you know your history. Most of the people here have never heard of Stokely Carmichael. Most people here have never heard of Mario Savio. Raise your hand if you've heard of Mario Savio and Stokely Carmichael. I was right. Most of the people know. So all I'm saying is the way to succeed is the New Left. Just read it, Wikipedia, the New Left, the history. See what people before us have done. Take the best ideas. Be aware of how they got taken down. And then you can succeed. You cannot succeed not knowing the past. You cannot succeed not knowing about intelligent, articulate people, that got in trouble when they tried to do something. So I think that if we continue, we should continue with a reference to the past, not an isolated bubble. This is 2011. We're going to do something new. You got to keep it in perspective, or you're not going to succeed. That's all I got to say. The New Left.
Naomi, thank you.
Yeah, real quick. If you didn't see it on Facebook, and I don't have the exact date, I don't know if it was today or over this weekend, but in New York City, there was a Decolonize Wall Street march with indigenous people. So I just wanted to bring that up. We've got Wade and Delphine over here representing Lakota and Arapaho people, and so Native people are now starting to get involved in this. And along those lines, the anti-racism thematic group will be meeting at some point this week.
Yeah, quick announcement. This is a meeting that was came up with on. We decided to have it on Monday last Monday before all this was happening. Hi, my name again Ben. I'm also a member of the International Socialist Organization. We decided to have a meeting, political discussion around Occupy Everything movement that's been spreading around. It's going to be tomorrow. We just decided, fuck it, we'll just keep on going with it because we already decided to have it. It's going to be tomorrow, 7 p.m., which, yes, I'm aware of the contradiction there. Make your best decision, but at the Wall Street Cafe, coffee shop, 62 Wall Street, at 7 tomorrow.
Other announcements?
One over there.
Oh, over here. Announcements? Sure, yeah.
Nobody can hear you.
All right, I want to share a little bit of my personal philosophy. I know a lot of thinking myself. I'm not going to say
Project.
but, okay, I would like to share with you a quote from Mikhail Bakunin, a Russian revolutionary in the 1848 type period. The liberty of man consists solely in this.
All right, there, we work on point of process. Announcement.
This guy on this talks about yes, well, this is my basic announcement. The world is changing, son. Don't kid yourself by thinking this is an ordinary day. And we have the ability to change this world, I believe. We look towards the past, and we have
I'm gonna have to, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to cut you off. Sorry, there's two people that are doing point process, so I have to cut you off. Sorry. I'm trying to be nice. There's multiple people. Sorry.
I think point of clarification, announcements are for working groups and thematic groups.
I'm in a working group. I'm the only person in it.
Alright. Cool. Alright. Any other announcements? Alright, I have two other announcements real quick. Claire gave me a, I guess it's one of the people that's in the group for nonviolence training, one of her friends that couldn't be here. The nonviolence training group met last night to discuss the ways in which their experiences might benefit the goals of Occupy Asheville. We became aware that the character of any nonviolence training and direct action support training would depend to take some extent on what sorts of actions that Occupy Asheville might choose to take in the coming hours, days, weeks. We would like to hear your thoughts, ideas, goals, and dreams for Occupy Asheville. What kinds of actions we collectively are thinking of? What kind of relationships we seek to build? Very quickly, not taking up much time and without the need to have a fully formed plan of action, please share with others what you envision as actions offering relationships and coalition building for people allied with Occupy Asheville. These might include things like workshops, training, rituals, moving pickets, concerts, you name it. Knowing where people are hoping to take Occupy Asheville will help nonviolence trainers know how to best help ensure that we get there nonviolently, showing respect to the people and relationships we hope to reach with our message. Alright? I have one more announcement that a homeless gentleman came up and told me, and it's just a bit of food for thought, and I mean, it's definitely really good. I think I should share it because it's definitely pertinent to what we're doing. From a nameless or homeless occupant of Asheville, in my lived experience, the 99% of the general American public treat those of their fellow who are truly dispossessed and disenfranchised little better than the least 1% treat them. This isn't just bankers and congressmen who ignore people sleeping in doorways and scavenging in trash cans for food. It is the vast majority of the manner. No political system, be it democracy or any other, can instill a sense of human fellow feeling in society that doesn't have it. Politics is necessarily a national affair, whereas the feeling that more people care about the life and welfare of a stranger, as if it were one of their own life and welfare, isn't necessarily a national thing. Just a bit of food for thought. Right?
Here's some people that have some things to say.
Okay. Who's hand up? Alright.
We can't inconsistently. We need to be consistent about it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like we can't shut it down and like
I'm sorry.
And in the back.
I'm Clover. I'm the organizer for Preschool Asheville, and I'd like to say that some people are wanting to get on their soapbox tonight, and I think that's freaking awesome. And I would like to make space for that somehow. So I have two ideas. One, I would like to see a soapbox area somewhere instituted. I'll try to talk around, try to make that happen. Also, I'd love to see some kind of community board with training. I don't know if that's already happening, but if people could, if they want to take a workshop on dual power or nonviolence training or facilitation, it totally fits in with all the trainings that are already happening, but it could be expanded on because we really could be using this opportunity to educate each other. So I will try to make a board happen where I invite you to teach workshops and announce where and when that's going to happen.
Any other announcements? We're about to go. Okay, one more.
I don't know if this is announcement, this kind of a question. I'm interested in offering up a topic for discussion amongst the group and to carry on in the future, a topic of debt relief, debt cancellation. So when does a soapbox he said, is there a time when we can present ideas?
I'll add it to the agenda right now. Is that cool? Is that done?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and so there's already a group forming a nonviolence training, and soapbox doesn't have to be proposed, that's just an idea, so it's an individual initiative, okay?
Yeah, okay. All right. For the agenda items, Bill Cota, gentleman over here, he's going to speak first because it's kind of more of an announcement, and we're going to use the diversity first because he's the only one representing his people here.
Oh.
It depends if he wants to speak or not, though.
Dale is going to speak when we are approaching the close.
All right, we're on to the agenda items right now. All right, the first one is sleeping in camp. All right, are there any proposals?
Just a second. I'm taking this back, and it's really dark, so if you guys could raise your hands really high. It's my first time doing it. I'm going to try and share it.
Actually, before we do this real quick, I realize you have to read all these, and we're going to see if we want to add any more real quick. First one is sleeping camp. Second agenda item is disturbances at camp and what to do with them. Another one is food committee. Another one is talking to the media and press. Another one is watching gear at camp and during the day. Another one is the Facebook group situation that I saw online today. Another one is the Kickstarter program that we talked about, the spirituality proposal, the community outreach, setting up a P.O. box, and the soapbox. Are there any other agenda items that we'd like to add at this moment? No? Okay, cool, awesome. All right, sleeping camp.
How much time do we want to spend on this one? This is a big one.
Yeah, let's give this one 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
20 minutes.
Can I propose that we combine a couple of these that seem to dovetail a little bit?
Yes.
Like sleeping camp, watching Garrett camp,
Yeah, that's kind of just,
okay.
Yeah.
So 20 minutes, 25 minutes? 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I'm actually reading a proposal from Elizabeth, I believe a minute ago, to make a class. We're on a project. Okay, yeah. So, Elizabeth wanted me to propose for her, she brought me the sheet, that because a lot of us who are full-time students, employed, etc., have a hard time making it to to night after night camping, what she wanted to propose that we have a big camp night on Friday or Saturday for those who cannot reasonably camp out daily due to like school, etc. Instead of having people spread out, let's accumulate our efforts, continue constant occupation, but invite those who can something one night to all come at the same time. So,
Director's fine.
You're welcome anytime to camp for one day. And I think the weekends are going to be bigger no matter what, and we should encourage it. And maybe having a mass day, a mass encouragement to bring people out, but one night is fine.
Well, just to further, I think she's just saying basically make a major organizing push around one specific night, and perhaps that be, I don't know.
If we get Friday, maybe it'll carry over into the weekend.
Right. Any other proposals for any questions or anything to his? Okay. No, that's the proposal. Proposal?
I would like to, recognizing that the police came and considered us to be blocking the sidewalk too much this morning, I would like to propose that we get tape, and instead of just dash marking, that we clearly define
3-foot wide walkways for pedestrians so that we can prove to the police that we're not blocking.
Normally the cops ordinance sets down about 6-foot radius. I know that's because I've been out here in buses and stuff like that. 6 foot.
Okay, and also my friend who couldn't. I said no, you're here, bro.
Good. Alright. Another proposal?
I'm sorry, my friend who couldn't be here proposed that we also use traffic cones of some sort, but that's not mine.
I just wanted to clarification as to what exactly happened at camp early this morning, because I know I wasn't there, but anyone who was there.
Alright. That's the next agenda item.
But I think that's relevant.
Okay. Truth. Okay. So, does anybody would like to describe what happened at camp this morning that was there?
Yeah,
Okay, if I could try to get this all together, I guess. There's a couple issues. My name's Sarah. There's a couple different issues. So, the police showed up around 7 o'clock this morning, with city ordinance laws that we were specifically blocking areas to and from businesses and pedestrian walkways. And also that the business that we were told was indefinitely closed happened to actually be occupied on the weekdays, and we were blocking their entrances to their building. Not only that, but there was a group of people that camped beyond our designated area that we were allowed to camp, which caused initially security to call the police. And so the police came. They told us all that we had to pack up and move because we were against city ordinance. They gave us 2 hours. We talked to them. Some of the people wrote down that was there with kind of like cop watch, wrote down information, who they talked to, the officer's name, and who was on shift. But we don't know exactly. It was the night before we were given permission to use certain areas that today we were told is not okay. Like in general, the whole area to be in front of the climbing wall place. We thought somehow we were allowed to use that as long as we made a clear pathway for people to get to the business. But in general, I guess today the police said that it obstructed walking for pedestrians, so we can't use that area at all. We all had to move.
Anything to add to that? Stand up.
As a clarification, I just wanted to say that the mood of that entire interaction was very peaceful, and that there were no negative confrontations, and that there was definitely a respectful manner that everything went down in. So we felt good about that.
I wanted to get some clarification on what the definition of the clear pathway was. Because I've heard 3 feet.
I can direct response to you about that. I talked to one of the police officers myself, and it's basically their own discretion. They said that when a person is walking and going about their business, if they have to walk off the path that they choose to go off of and go around you, then it's considered obstructing the pedestrian walkway.
It's very convenient for them.
Yeah, it's very very vague.
That's what I was just going to say, vague.
It seems to me to be pretty obvious that you will have the legal right to do whatever you want until such time as we become effective. And then it will become illegal. So just chew on that, everybody. Because we're talking about an occupation of public space in solidarity with Occupy Wall Street. They did not ask for permits or permission to take over a public square. They went and they made a point of doing that. And if that's not what you're here for, if you want permits And if you want to ask city councilmen to do so, then we're on a different page.
That was very fun. I think if we can keep it easy for everybody without any hassle, we can actually accomplish something and get organized and do something instead of just go to jail and just sit like chumps, you know?
I'm okay.
My truth.
Alright, matchup.
I do have a direct response. The people in New York are not against the city of Asheville. Okay? Breaking the ordinances in the city of Asheville versus breaking federal law is a totally different thing. And I think occupying federal building, or the front of the federal building, we are not breaking the law of Asheville. We are on public land, and that should be the space we occupy to start. This is a proposal and a direct response to you, because Occupy New York is against corporations, then stepping into the park system. I mean, there's no way for us to have any, point of process. I agree. I'm stepping up a little bit. I'll just end it there. Sorry.
Are there any other proposals? Alright, you have a proposal?
What about in front of the Merrill Lynch building? It is pretty bold.
Is that private property?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be arrested.
I'm aware of that.
Okay.
You kidding me?
I
was there the first night. I'll be with you again.
Which I've been trying to do since before all of this, but the vagueness of the police was the reason for my proposition of the pathway. We can stay 6 feet away, and that can be an amendment to the proposal, but the pathway, that is a clear line, is the reason to get rid of the vagueness, so that there is a clear pathway.
Can I?
Point of clarification, a couple people. Speak up.
She said the sidewalk in front of the Merrill Lynch building. Is that private or public?
Direct response.
I don't know if this is factual, but I'm imagining that's inside Pack Square Park.
Point of clarification.
How big exactly is the sidewalk in front of the federal building? Because I don't really know.
Alright, direct response.
8 to 10 feet, depending on if you're in front of the steps or in front of the weird entrance to the when you go down. There, yeah.
There's also like grass
And between, I guess that's Federal Henry, what is that? I think it's Federal Henry. Between Henry and the Federal Building, there's a really, really awesome sculpture there, whatever that's supposed to be. There's gravel. That gravel.
Alright, sorry, he had his hand up next.
I realize that we need to design actions, especially campsites, to make it a safe space for people to be involved. One concern, and the thing that I did the first night, was to show up and keep watch with a number of other people. And there was only one person the second night that was awake at 3 specifically to keep watch. And I think that should be is there a working group for security of campsite?
We have a direct response. One of the agenda items is watching gear at camp and during the day and night.
Okay. I think that's a very important thing for the purpose of if women and children don't feel safe at the
Point
camp,
of clarification.
we're limited.
Is that also just include for security in general around the campus?
Yeah, most definitely, yeah. That's basically, yeah, watching gear and staying awake and paying attention to what's going on. And Matt?
Sorry, 8 minutes.
Okay. Sorry. That was it.
Has anybody contacted the co-op to ask about the parking lot near them, letting us?
I was just thinking about that.
No.
Alright. Should I add that as a proposal?
Yeah.
But we still have to find out about it, but that could be a potential.
Can we amend the security for watching stuff as for watching people as well? Because and that we are watching to make sure that the group is doing what we have agreed as a group, like not occupying doorways in front of buildings that are open. I mean, we had a planned camp area last night, and people separated away from that. And that put the group in danger this morning?
Point of process. Alright, cool. Alright. Alright, the next.
I would like to put a petition out that we go sleep over at the proposal that we go sleep over at the federal building.
Okay.
I mean, it's
Alright. Well, yeah, that's one of the proposals that's on here that I wrote down. Alright. Cool. Alright. Yeah, I have everybody's proposal that I wrote down so far, and we have another one we're waiting to hear back from as well. Which is.
It would be a good thing if I got on the phone tomorrow and called a bunch of churches, like the Presbyterian Church right over here on Church Street, the First Baptist Church up here, and see if they'll give us permission to use their parking lot.
Yes.
Anybody object to that?
Alright, well, I wrote it down as a proposal. Great.
Alright, so the proposal is that, at least for now, I'm Caleb, by the way, at least for now, until we find something more secure and long-term, that a private location or private property be used or requested permission of, so that, well, for a lot of reasons, but on that note, Jen Foster is currently at Mellow Mushroom talking to them to see if we can use their parking lot for the evening. That is private property, and the police would have absolutely no jurisdiction, and we would be able to stay there without question.
Is the parking lot like that little piece of property right there on the side?
It's not big. We would definitely be more cramped, or slightly more cramped, yeah. But I mean, it is part of on the right, yeah.
And I noticed the hurricane. I had something that had to do with that had about my property.
It is. Well, yeah, we discussed it after that came up, and she's over there right now talking to us.
Cool. Go ahead.
I'm just concerned about, you want to stay in public view, like, you want to stay car, like, where, especially by the police.
Right.
That has to do with her statement, like, about kind of finding her.
Way louder.
We need to come to consensus on whether we want to handle this permission without permission. We can't take it up. That's the first step.
You. Chloe here. There's a property right down the road here that's a big parking lot that's vacant. Why can't we check with the real estate company as to if there is anybody who is willing to donate, because then we could stay permanent. Also, if we go up to the tunnel on the left-hand side, there's a great big parking lot. There's fields. That's where URTB used to have their office.
What tunnel?
Tunnel Road. I'm sorry.
Way out Tunnel Road.
College.
Right out
Well, would it be a place to go for tonight? Yes, on this side of the tunnel. There's a great big parking lot.
Can we get a vibe check on this and how people feeling in general?
I feel confused.
I have a bunch of proposals. Do you want me to read them over as I'm going? Okay. This needs to be addressed right now. Alright, there's the weekend camp out, which isn't pertinent to tonight right now.
Right.
So tonight is Federal Building, Co-op, which we don't know about yet, churches, which we don't know about yet, Mellow Mushroom, which we don't know about yet, vacant lot, which we have no idea about yet, or Tunnel Road, which we don't know about yet. So basically, the only option that we have right now is the Federal Building.
I would like to.
Go.
I think that even though we're not as many people as we would like to be right now, it's important to stay in public view, and as long as we follow the law, we haven't given us too much trouble yet. So I would definitely, in my opinion, encourage moving towards federal.
Alright.
To me, the whole idea of getting permission from a church sort of defeats the whole idea of occupation. Yeah, I think we camp out.
I really hate the idea of splitting up. There are several large sidewalks like in front of Wachovia and Impact Square, in front of Bistro, and we could set up lines of people and be visible.
About the whole tunnel thing, I used to camp over there and everything else. It is very far because you do want to be in public eye. I mean, it's literally about a mile to maybe a mile and a quarter away from here. And where the tunnel road was talking about is all gravel. There's an empty lot gravel. And what that is an actual, it belongs to the people, like the schools that are over there. They opened that up, added parking spots and everything else for that facility, for the school over there. I think that would be a bad idea because for people that sleep on, like, or just their charts or stuff like that, because as mentioned, you're on rock.
Alright, so basically the only proposal we have right now for tonight is the federal building. Or do you want to do consensus on that?
Is the federal building where we've been sleeping on Wall Street or somewhere else?
No. Federal building is that big one, like the weather, like thing, National Weather Building thing. Big. Alright, wait.
Senator Byrd.
Everyone's clear as to what the status is of the federal building. Will they be breaking any laws of city laws?
I believe that we have to check with the legal team at that point when Jen Foster gets back.
Another thing might be helpful. I'm not a camper, so I don't like to tell everyone else where to camp, but it might be a good idea to have a raise of hands to see how many people are willing to be arrested.
Okay, we have a direct response from Jen Foster.
Okay, she has talked to Mellow Mushroom, and if we can come up with a better idea, we are completely allowed to stay there on their private property for 2 days from 11 p.m. till 8:30 a.m. At least it's a very safe place. I mean, unless you want to...
2 days.
I don't know. I know she's on her way back, but all I know is that they said yes for 2 days.
Right.
Yeah, I wanted to make a broad point that relates to this. In New York City, they were coincidentally lucky that Zuccotti Park was a private park, and they coincidentally got away with being able to stay there. It is primarily a movement against corporate control, and we can debate vision, but primarily it's that. Sometimes nonviolent action against certain issues, especially a bunch of people doing nonviolent action involved in climbing, will become a contest about who has better rope skills instead of the basic issue. I am not a camper, but I'm still part of the action, and I would encourage you to give yourselves permission to redefine the action without losing face internally.
Sorry. We have time. We're going to obviously have to add more minutes to it. How much time do we want to add to it?
10 minutes.
10 minutes? Okay.
So, please give yourself permission for that. In New York City, they have been planning and preparing since June 16th. They had a lot of time. We just started figuring out where we were going to sleep about 96 hours ago, and it shows. Thank you.
Direct response real quick. They also had a lot more people when they took over the park than we do, and we're way more liable to be arrested than they were.
I'm sorry, I have a direct response to what you said earlier. I got clarification from Jen. The patio is also a yes. I know it's private property and not public space, but it's just until we figure out something better.
And it's also very visible.
Very visible.
Okay. Anthony?
Yeah, I'm going to make a proposal that we do that, and then even though we have that for tomorrow as well, apparently, that we try our best tomorrow, delegate a group of people or everybody who can to try and find an alternate place, and even discuss possibly using some of our budget to get a permit to sleep in a public area, if that's something we can do. I don't know, but at least discuss it.
I agree with this.
I think this gentleman has a good idea. Albert Einstein said the strong won't survive, the flexible will survive, the adaptable. So if we can come back here in the public, it don't matter where we go to sleep at night.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to...
Wait. I'm sorry, shit. Direct response.
I heard the issue about a permit. And Dwayne is willing to discuss the permit issue if and when we come up with a location.
I just wanted to ask for someone who knows the federal building space well to clearly explain to them.
Yep.
That's Jen Foster when she gets back, I would assume. She's on her way back. Yeah.
So Jen Foster is going to come back and speak to what she knows about the legalities of staying at the federal building?
Yeah, she would be right.
Homeland Security will be involved.
She's going to have to go home and look it up.
We've had protests there before, and Homeland Security does get involved if we get involved with the federal building. You got to know that ahead of time.
I just want to pass this to you. Occupation with cooperation. If you can do that for the next 48 hours, it's a good possibility that the police department will help you organize a place to camp.
Any other proposals? Okay, so for tonight we have Mellow Mushroom and the federal building. I'm going to start with the federal building. General consensus? Point of clarification?
When will Jane Foster be able to tell us?
I don't think she's going to be able to go home before the end of this meeting and check it. Does somebody have a phone that they can check it? A smartphone? Or somebody has a smartphone.
I want to be clear, I wasn't asking about the legality. I was asking to physically describe the space. I mean, if we're sitting on the sidewalk.
Okay, it's a sidewalk, I don't know, from here, from there to about
8 feet.
It's about this wide. So I'm thinking that if you wanted to do it, if Homeland Security didn't get involved, it's long, it's probably, I don't know, 70 yards in length. You could probably put people single file
I have
without
a proposal that this general consensus go only to the people that are camping out tonight. Okay. General consensus at the federal building.
I'm okay with it if we do have a pathway if it's public space, because the police, I think that my earlier proposal applies to the federal building. If we do it there, we still need a pathway. But if we do, I'm fine with it then.
Oh, yeah. No, I just wanted a point of clarification about what happened to his earlier proposal about going back to Wall Street and taking off the...
Yeah,
I didn't realize we voted on that.
Okay, I mean, I'll ask that again. All right. So, any direct response?
Yeah, direct response to the question of blockage of doorways. Talking about this road,
Patton.
Patton Avenue. There are no doorways used on this side. The only door in and out that's used is on the north side of the building where the courtyard is. So if the question is blockage, there's no blockage that I know of.
All right. So, the direct response?
Do that and everything else that the cop's going to be looking at is blockage of any doorway. Regardless. If the doorway is not, it could be used as an
We have 5 minutes left on this discussion. All right. So once again, I'll ask for the federal building consensus of those that are camping out tonight. All right, Coleman.
My part is I had to go for 30 minutes to another meeting, and I'm back and I'm caught up real quick, so I may not know everything. My personal experience of demonstrating and protesting at the federal building, not sleeping there, depending upon the mood of the guards, meaning Homeland Security, when we step up the steps, that's a trigger, even though it's kind of technically a public space, and I believe that they, whatever it's marshals or Homeland Security, whoever's officially in charge, will end up calling at the police department for help.
Okay. All right. Direct response?
Sorry.
Oh, you didn't have a direct response.
I was just going to clarify for everyone that we're talking about, I'm not camping, but the campers are talking about camping on the sidewalk in front of the building directly.
Yeah.
That was just a clarification.
Okay. All right.
I'd like to retract my support for the federal building. It was the other one.
All right.
Just because we don't have time.
All right. So. All right. Federal building consensus. Okay. We have tape off the sidewalk on Wall Street. Mellow Mushroom.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mellow Mushroom is adopted in, I'm assuming, because those that did vote, I can tell. Yeah, okay. So Mellow Mushroom. Is there any? Oh, I know. Are there any friendly amendments? I'm assuming that that's something we've been doing, offering all these proposals and kind of going over it.
There's Jennifer.
Good. Okay.
Recon mission to Melon Mushroom. I don't know what y'all said, but
Yeah, Caleb.
if we go to Melon Mushroom, we just have to make sure start breaking camp by 8 a.m. Be out of there 8:30, 8:45. No traces of cigarette butts, so that we're ever there, and the owner is totally on board with us. We can camp on the patio.
You're amazing!
I know, isn't that awesome? Woo! Peace and revolution!
Your intention is to go back and check out the federal building and find out what the laws are around that?
Tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Are there any questions or concerns? Any blocks? No? Okay, it's adopted in that we will be sleeping at Mellow Mushroom tonight. All right. That was the main issue of the agenda item. Okay. Next agenda item, disturbances at camp and what to do about them.
How much time?
Can I make like a preamble to this?
Okay, you want to kind of discuss about kind of why?
Okay. Sort of the reason you brought this up was last night there were a few people that were in camp. The reason they what brought this up was that last night at camp there were a few people that were exuberantly disruptive and intoxicated.